right ahead.
Dino, we saw Dan Vallaria working with the receivers today. How did that come about, and what's he doing?
We want to get him into some special team stuff. He's an athletic guy. See if we can get him in the field in some other positions besides still playing quarterback.
Is it so it's like a part-time thing? He's still doing something? Or you're just kind of trying it out?
We're trying it out and see what it looks like.
Is that more based on where he is? Like, how much of that is where he is in the quarterback room, and how much, did a Nye come to you and say he was interested in trying some stuff as well?
I think it's more that we know who our starting quarterback is, and he's a fantastic athlete. We're trying to get all our best athletes on the field.
Okay.
How was the scrimmage this weekend?
About 120-something plays, about an hour and a half and something. It was good. It was fast. It was physical. It was interesting.
Did anyone surprise you or stand out in a different way that you weren't expecting?
No, the defense had a really, really good day. They had, I think the offense might have got him in the first one, but the defense got him in the second.
So would you say the defense won the day?
I would say they had a really good day, defense.
Is that your ideal scenario, that you have both offense, defense getting some W's?
That's either really, really good or really, really bad. So let's roll the dice and see what it's going to look like.
Coach, with camp coming to an end, are you still in the building block stages of your team, or are you starting to focus towards Louisville with their game plan?
We still got to finish camp. We'll finish camp this week, and then we'll get started with our first opponent.
What has the energy level been like, just inside today?
Oh, it was hot in here today. This is the way that the dome used to be, and it was fun. Really fun.
Sarcasm?
That's sarcasm.
What has been the hardest part of fall camp for you?
Waiting for it to get here. Fall camp is fun. You got to enjoy the process. If you don't enjoy the process of young people getting better or older guys learning one or two techniques that's going to help you win games during the season, then there's something wrong with you. So waiting for the process, enjoying the process. You have to do it, and you have to do it thoroughly if you're going to have an opportunity to have a good season.
Wanted to rattle through a few personnel updates.
I'm sure.
Important guys. Jason Simmons,
Getting better.
chance he might play week 1 is
I think it's better than a chance.
better than a chance. Isaiah still kind of on that track. Jones,
I think he's on that track.
Quealy,
We're going to have to see.
and then Darius Tisdale. We haven't seen him for a while.
Illness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Serious? Is he okay? I mean, it's been
Illness.
okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
I gotcha.
Any specific position battles or battles that you're looking for, you're particularly interested in as camp comes to a close?
The battles are basically over. These guys are sharpening up. I think that for the most part, at all the positions, they've kind of solidified a little bit. And if there's one or two guys that are still in a battle at a position, you're probably going to see both guys play during the game.
When you say solidified, can you say who's going to be behind Garrett?
I'm not going to say that yet because Louisville's listening to all this stuff.
Okay.
What has Garrett shown you in the deep ball game, throwing the ball?
He's better. Yeah, we've got it. The guys are doing a better job. The timing, the routes, combinations are definitely throwing the ball better.
These last 2 weeks here, do these days go by quick for you? They go by slow?
They just go by. We stop late at night and we start early in the morning, and they just keep running right behind each other. So it's just part of what we do. And like I said, you have to enjoy the process. If you slow down during this process, when they come out of it, they're not right. So we've got to go 100 miles an hour as coaches, and they got to keep up with us.
Anything in particular you've seen Rio Wilson get better at late in camp?
Carlos?
Yeah. The only Rio Wilson out there, right? Well, I don't like to say Carlos because you got a couple of Carlos.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. I would say the biggest thing is he's getting better with the offense, and we want him to think more like us. He's been trained by a whole bunch of other people, and we want to train him so he thinks like us, so we can predict what he's going to do.
Where do you see that on the field? Just being comfortable pulling the trigger?
No, it's decision making.
Decision making. Yeah. Okay.
Coach, have you ironed out a top 7 for your line?
Yes.
Offensive line? Okay. Do you have the top 7?
Yes.
Could you share the top 7?
No.
Okay. Has there been a guy from the offensive line that's impressed you so far?
Yeah. Matthew Bergeron.
How much does the feel of the season change? The feel of camp change when you got an ACC opponent game 1?
This is different. We've never had this before, and it's not that you have to really be, the game means more. Every game means one game, but this is a conference game. And you're coming out, and there might be, what happens in your first game is you have a feeling about certain people if they've played before, and you have you know, guys that haven't played, which you believe they're going to do a certain thing in a game. And your first game, your second game normally decides whether they can or they can't, and then you readjust if you think you've got the wrong guy in there. Well, this game, you can't do that. So you've got to really test them, and not only physically but mentally in camp. And you still got to hope that if you got a new guy in there, you got the right guy. And what normally happens is depth charts and teams don't really solidify until somewhere between game 3 and 5, because you really know who's in there, who's not in there. I remember, you know, Bergeron didn't start till the middle of the season. So we went through how many games without him being out there. Duh. You know what I mean? So we want to make sure that we don't have those situations happen again. So that's what it's all about.
Last two for Coach.
We saw a couple of good grabs from LaQuinn Allen during your team period on Friday. I mean, what have you seen out of him and what has impressed you?
He doesn't act like a freshman, and he can catch.
When you say he doesn't act like a freshman, is that like on field skills? Is that like off the field stuff? Like, has he stood out?
No, off the field, he's still a freshman, but on the field, he does not act like a freshman. He acts like he belongs.
Last one for Coach.
When you're picked to finish last in the division, is it something that motivates the team, or is it something that you just kind of block out?
You know, in 2012, we were picked to finish last. When I first started coaching, we finished first. And then next year, they said we weren't going to win the conference, and we won the conference. Then I went to another school, and they said, hey, these guys won't win, and we won that conference. Then they said you couldn't win the championship, and we won the championship. And then I came here, okay? And then we've been picked last every year, and then one time we were, 95 yards in 2 minutes and something for winning the ACC Atlantic, which means you got a heck of a chance of winning the conference. So we're picked where I'm normally picked at, status quo.
Thank you very much, Coach.
See you guys.